Oh, there you are, YouTube. So I'm going to start this vlog off by talking about WandaVision Episode 3, which I believe is called Now in Color. Is that right? Pretty sure it's WandaVision Now in Color. And I am continuing to love what this show is doing. It is so different. It is so risky, for Disney MCU. It's so brave for Disney MCU because this type of show is not going to hold the interest of a young kid. They are potentially losing their audience. But I think the thing is, they're not losing the audience from the movie viewers. Those viewers are still going to watch the movies. Basically, they just aren't going to grab everybody to watch WandaVision. But I'm pretty sure it's just a single mini-series, so, once this is done, maybe that's it. Maybe this show won't continue. And if it doesn't continue, that's okay because it's just a few episodes, right? What is it, 7, 10? I don't know, something like that. So let's say everybody doesn't watch it. It's probably not going to be that big of a deal. I still haven't seen Thor Dark World, right? And I think I'm doing fine. I had to, before I went to go see Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame, I just asked my buddy, I was like, hey, you saw Dark World, can you give me a rundown of what's going on? And he just, gave me a quick understanding of where different people were at in the stage of events by the end of Dark World, so I knew what to expect with those characters going into those last Avengers films, right? So I guess it's not that MCU is going to lose viewers, it's just WandaVision's probably not going to get all of the MCU viewers, which I think is fine. I think that's good to have different age level sorts of things, because whenever Deadpool is finally introduced, kids can't watch Deadpool. So we're going to have MCU characters that kids can't watch. I mean, the Netflix shows were kind of that way, right? I remember watching the early episodes of Daredevil and watching Kingpin just smash somebody's head into pulp with a door, like a car door. And it was like, ho, this is a different world, but it's not. It was the same world. I don't think it is anymore. Maybe it is. I'm not really sure what the canon is there at this point. If you know, let me know, because I'm curious. Are the Netflix Marvel shows still part of the MCU canon? Because I don't know. But, those were very different from the films, much more violent. So you do have these different age levels. So I guess what I'm saying is, WandaVision, these kids are used to seeing her in these theatrical films. Let's say they go to watch WandaVision, I can see them being like, I don't think I'm going to watch this whole thing. This is weird. But even though it is weird, I love it, and I think I just like getting something new, something wacky, something different than what MCU puts out there. That 1 to 100 demographic, you can't do that every time because it starts getting stale. It was getting stale for me. I haven't been this excited for an MCU thing in a long time. So, I don't know. I'm hyped. Still loving WandaVision. This time it was taking place, in this episode it was taking place in the 70s. So we had sort of honeymooners, sort of 50s style, and then moved on to the 60s, kind of very, like Mary Tyler Moore. And then this one was not Mary Tyler Moore, well, sort of. Dick Van Dyke is what I meant. The 70s one is Mary Tyler Moore and stuff like the Brady Bunch, calling, tip of the hat to those types of shows. So if you watched a lot of 70s television shows, you'll pick up on a lot of those references, which I did because I watched a lot of TV growing up. I mean, TV was my thing. I mean, I think it was a lot of kids' thing, but I watched a lot of 70s television, so it was really cool to see. I wasn't even, I wasn't born in the 70s or anything, but the reruns, they were all there, which is very cool. So yeah, I think now that we have covered WandaVision, I think just like in yesterday's video, how I did a random ranking. So I picked 3 movies from my collection, at least this collection that I have behind this wall here. I have another collection that's more just my movies. This is sort of like my wife and my movies, stuff that we would both watch, where I have the stuff she would never watch downstairs. But yeah, so I'm going to take 3 movies and randomly I shut and then bring them back into this room because it's dark out there. Bring them back into this room and then do a ranking of those 3 films. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, the movies will come from somewhere in here. Okay, I got the movies. I have not looked at them yet. Gonna do that right now. Okay. All right, this could be a tough one. This could be a tough one here. All right, so Dan in Real Life, right here, Steve Carell. Maybe not a Thanksgiving movie, but it sort of feels like a Thanksgiving movie. Feels very Thanksgiving-y. I mean, we watch it for Thanksgiving. It feels like a Thanksgiving movie. I don't remember pancakes in the movie. There were probably pancakes, but I don't remember any pancakes. This moment does not happen in the movie. Next, we have Outbreak. Virus movie. Very pertinent to today because of the pandemic. So, yeah, we're all feeling this one right now. And then next, The Way with Martin Sheen. This one, I have only seen one time, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. The other one from yesterday, I knew right off the bat. Let's see how this goes. When it comes to nostalgia, which is an important factor for me, I would say Outbreak. Not necessarily because I watched it a lot, but because I just remember the commercials. I remember playing on movie channels a lot when I was a kid. So the nostalgia is more centered on this film, but I myself did not watch this movie a heck of a lot as a kid. It was more like the commercials, them telling me, that the movie was going to be playing on television, right? Oh, Cuba Gooding Jr. Donald Sutherland. Yeah, I got a good cast here. I think I've only seen this movie a handful of times. I don't know, most recently watched it with my wife a few years ago, and it's pretty 90s. It's pretty, yeah. So while it has nostalgia, I don't think this is necessarily a great movie. It starts off interesting, but then sort of turns into this action film at the end, and I don't like that shift. This one, maybe only seen it once, maybe I've seen it twice. Sort of like that Reese Witherspoon movie, which I can't remember what that one is called right now. But, yeah, Emilio Estevez, who is Martin Sheen's son. You may know Emilio Estevez from stuff like The Mighty Ducks. He plays Gordon Bombay. He is also in The Breakfast Club. That's him right there in the orange jacket. And that's his dad right there in the blue jacket, Martin Sheen, who stars in this film. I remember it being really good. But again, I haven't seen it much. I am the least familiar with this film of the 3. This one here, probably the most familiar. Really, with my wife, has this one become a big film for me because we watch it every Thanksgiving and just in the fall in general. Not Thanksgiving Day, I should say, but like sort of the lead up to Thanksgiving. And yeah, it's just a nice sort of soft indie feeling movie. I don't even know if it is an indie movie. Focus Features, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I find it very pleasant. So I am going to put this one up front because of sort of the holiday tradition-ness of it with my wife. Just, watching it, sitting down, enjoying the fall, the autumn season, and watching this movie. So this one is easily number one. Here's the trouble. Childhood nostalgia with this one. But again, I don't necessarily like the movie. It's more like the advertising nostalgia. And then here, a quality film that I don't have much attachment to. It's a movie that I like, but I don't have much attachment to. But I do like the idea of Emilio Estevez directing his father and them being in a film together. That's just cute to me. I like that. So, and my most recent viewing of Outbreak, I did not like the movie. Like, I was just like, this is not as good as I remember it when I was a kid. So, it's so weird to put nostalgia at the end. Let me tell you that. It is so weird to put nostalgia in the end. But I think this is where I'm going. I think we're going to go Dan in real life, The Way, in Outbreak. This is The Way. Mandalorian, right? So yeah, this is my ranking. Very, very weird to see this at the end because this is where all the nostalgia lies. But here, tradition with my wife and just the coziness of this movie, the fall, autumn coziness of Dan in real life is great. And then here, I'm just going quality. And the fact that, again, I love that Martin and Emilio are working together here. So, yeah, Dan in real life, The Way, and Outbreak. Gonna tell my kids these were the Ghostbusters. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I'd only tell them the real Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters. Well, yeah, the ones we know. There were Ghostbusters before those Ghostbusters from Filmation, an animation company. But no, you know who I'm talking about. Venkman, Egon, Winston, and Ray. Those are the real Ghostbusters, not these guys. But anyway, thank you for joining me for this random ranking of these three films. Perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.